People want the whole package. They want to manufacture, they want to do the molds, they want to design, they want to prototype, they want to ship, they want to do QC, they want to do assembly, right? No one's going to take the blame for your problem. Why? I've got the answer for you. If you're looking for product assembly services in China, I've got the answer for you. The first thing that you need to know, the first thing that you have to ask yourself, and this is something that I repeat very frequently in videos, is why? Why are you looking for product assembly services? If your answer is, I have 7 different factories in China. I have worked with them for a long time. They are making all my components. Right now, one factory is doing all the assembly. I want to take that away to see if I can assemble third party to save costs, or more importantly, to protect my IP, then that's a perfect question. If that is not what you are looking for, if that is not your situation, I doubt product assembly services is actually the thing that you need. So in this video, I'm going to go on and explain why you would not need product assembly services at the current time in your process. And then I'm going to give you 3 tips that if you decide that product assembly services is actually what you're looking for, to make sure and to help you get the best results out of your process. All right, some reasons that you shouldn't be looking for product assembly services. This is your first product. If this is your first run at making something in China, product assembly services are probably the least of your concerns. Do you actually have design files ready? DFM, design for manufacturability. Do you have those files ready? The answer, surprisingly, is more often than not, right? People come unprepared. It's your first time. It's understandable. It's your first rodeo. You're not going to have all the answers. That's normal. It's normal not to be 100% prepared. And what will happen if you're not 100% prepared is what I call the blame game. When you have multiple people working on the same product who don't have responsibility for the entire product, just their own components within that product, well, when stuff fits like this, they go, it's not my fault. I did what I was supposed to. It's his fault. And this guy's going, nope, I did what I was supposed to. It's his fault. He didn't do it. And you're just going to sit there. No one will take responsibility. Why would they? You did something wrong, whether it's your design files, whether it's being sloppy, unprepared, inexperienced, right? No one's going to take the blame for your problem. And more often than not, that's what happens. So if you're in that situation, if you're brand new to manufacturing, I'd put that one on pause. I would first find a reliable, legitimate supplier that can help you make your entire product. If it's something that really relies on IP, if it's something that's super creative, or, there are reasons why you should jump into this. And for that reason, if you're still wanting to look for product assembly services in China, I am going to give you 3 tips to help you avoid the problem. Let's dig into it. Number 1, the biggest problem is that most people that say they are product assembly services aren't really product assembly services in China. Let's go and Google product assembly services in China and take a look at what we're seeing here so that you can understand what I'm saying. All right, so on the page, front page of Google, product assembly services in China. All I'm gonna do is read the description underneath their link, right? So the first 3 are ads, Gemba, they suck. PCB, so right away you can see that this is just about prototyping, rapid prototyping PCBs. That's not assembly, right? Maybe SMT is what they're doing, which is assembly of just prototypes, or of just PCB boards rather, sorry. And East-West basics. Consumer, expect high quality design at competitive. So right away, they're talking about design, work with our US team to get design to the delivery. So they're turnkey, quality control, sourcing made easy. Nothing at all about product assembly, right? Even in the description, not interested. These guys, like I said, not interested. Gemba, fastest way to bring new products to market. What do you make? US-based support for overseas production, sourcing, design, production, and more. Quality control, site visits, local representation, source with confidence, US-based, like, give me a break. It's not, they didn't even do a good enough job to define product assembly services under what they're offering in their ad. China assembly services. Right away, I see turnkey, OEM, ODM manufacturing. That's someone who has a full suite of service, right? They want to give you the whole package. Let's keep going. Let's see what we can find. Product assembly in China. Reduce your costs, use, or skills terms with our infrastructure. This could be interesting. Let's take a look at Davintech. Davintech is recognized by its customers around the globe as a trustworthy supplier of custom-made components and assemblies. Take advantage of our CNC machine services, including turning and milling, as well as plastic overmolding and product assembly. They at least made their ad have something about product assembly, and their landing page is based on product assembly. That's at least nice. Adds value. Ask for information. We're not going to do that, but this might be an option, right? They're at least having a landing page that says that they do what they do in the ad. That could be an option. I'll keep them on my radar. Next. Assembly, service, and manufacturers. Made in China, right? Made in China is basically Alibaba. Good luck with that. Next. Launch Factory 88, outsourcing product assembly in China. This looks like a blog post. Not familiar with Alibaba. Skip. China import leads. Warehousing, assembly, labeling. Let's take a look. Assembly, service, contract manufacturing. No, thank you. Product assembly, service in China. Okay, that's enough for now. Manufacturing and assembling. Like, this is just all product. How it works. It's all product. Assembly is a part of the package, which most of these companies will do, but that's obvious. That's not really helping the situation. Outsourcing product to assembly, that could be an interesting blog, but I'm guessing it's SEO purposes. Who knows? So really, the point of this is that it's hard to find real product assembly services. Why? Because people want the whole package, right? They want to manufacture, they want to do the molds, they want to design, they want to prototype, they want to ship, they want to do QC, they want to do assembly, they want to warehouse, and the list goes on. It's really hard to find experts who really do product assembly. If you're stuck and you really want to go with product assembly, you're going to need to dig and find somebody that actually can assemble your product as the sole service that they provide you as a customer. All right, so number one to review is you got to make sure they're actually a product assembly service company. So many people aren't actually that. And if they aren't that, you're shit out of luck. Number two, once you find somebody that says they're a product assembly, you've done a little bit of research, found a little bit of information on them, dig deeper. Do your best to audit their business. Now, that can be hard from abroad. Ask for pictures. Have multiple phone calls. Understand who's in management. How many employees do they have? Get pictures of their actual assembly floor. Where are they warehousing? Do they package in-house as well? All of those things are really important to guarantee that your product will be assembled perfectly. Assembling outside of your existing supply chain has a lot of benefits, namely cost and IP protection. But it comes with a shit ton of risks. Right? If you're going to move somewhere else, you're opening yourself up to many more problems, and that's not ideal. If you can avoid that by, like tip number one, making sure they actually do what they say. Tip number two, auditing them to the best of your ability, you'll be in a much better place. Number three is going over the two biggest upsides of doing product assembly services in China, third party, which are, as I mentioned previously, cost and IP protection. So I'm just going to give you a rundown and some ideas of why these things are important. First, IP protection. When everybody is making components within your supply chain and you're shipping them third party to be assembled, guess what? Nobody knows what the final product is. And that's perfect. You have to keep the lines of communication shut off. That means when you ship from one factory to another, you ship it. You don't tell the factory to put their product name on the product and ship it to them. No. Handle shipping third party as well. Get your shipping or logistics manager to get the product, put your company name, and then ship it. That may sound simple, but so many people forget to do that, and it's just obvious. Cost, work with them to figure out costs. Assembly is essentially manpower. Human power, human resources, figuring out how much it costs for person X to put together your product, or line of X amount of X people to put together your product. What does it cost? I reckon that product assembly services will often quote much higher than what it actually costs to see what they can get away with. Get them to break it down. Half the reason, debatably, you're doing this is to save costs. If that's the case, make sure that you understand what's actually going on so that you can get the most bang for your buck. That's it. That's the reasons why I wouldn't use a product assembly services in China based on different kinds of people and their situations, why I would, and 3 tips that if you do, you can guarantee that you'll have a much better process and things will be much more smooth, or as I like to say in Chinese, 顺. Below, we have an article that goes over all of this about product assembly services in China in detail. Take a look, take a read. Talk to you next time. Until then, peace.